Now that we're more eye to eye, I wanted to do another EFT tapping on living in regret. Now, living in regret can be similar to getting through life without any scars. It's kind of hard. We'll tend to regret some decisions that we've made in life, and some decisions we can get very stuck in. And let's do an EFT tapping to help unstick these feelings around living in regret. So taking full responsibility for your own well-being and repeating after me. Let's go with that flow. Let's begin to tap. Even though I might be living in regret, there are decisions that I've made or events that have happened that are causing me deep feelings of regret. And I really wish I could go back and change things. And I'm open to loving and accepting myself. Even though there are situations, there are people, and there are actions that I could have taken or actions that I took that are deeply regrettable. And I relive that regret every day. And it doesn't feel too good to be living in regret. And I'm open to loving and accepting myself. Even though there may have been things done to me and a life that I regret not living, that I hold myself in hurt, that perhaps I want to change so that I can live the life that I want, be it whatever it is. And I'm open to loving and accepting myself. All of this regret, all of this regret that I'm feeling in my day to day, I find myself living in regret. All this regret, it affects me deeply. These choices that I could have made and these choices that I did make, I do regret that. And I might beat myself up about those decisions that I made or didn't make. And now I'm living in regret. I might be living in remorse. Remorse for the actions that I didn't take, or remorse for the actions that I did take. There's a life I could have lived. But things happen to me. Events beyond my control. And I miss the life that I could have had. And I regret that. Of all the things that I could have done. But now that I can't. And I'm in this regret right now. Living within it. And I get angry at myself sometimes. Perhaps a lot of times. As I beat myself up for the choices that I made, the choices that I didn't make, and the choices beyond my control. All of this regret. And it doesn't feel good to live in regret. No matter which way that I look at it, no matter which way that I wish I had a time-traveling machine to go back in the past, to talk some sense into myself, or to avoid certain situations that led me to this situation and this feeling that I'm in. And I have to ask myself this question. Am I actually living in regret? Or am I living in the grief of a life that could have been lived? And I'm beating myself up rather than caring for myself. acknowledging the grief that I am going through right now. Allow myself to let go of some decisions that weren't to be or did happen to me. And as much as I want to go back and change the past, and how infuriating that is, and how much blame, shame, and guilt that I give myself, I can't change what has already happened. As remorseful as it is, I am in the here and now. I also have to ask myself this question. Is it fair to be beating myself up for past decisions made or the situation that I'm in? Or another way to ask the question, is it fair to be treating myself this way? To be living in a constant cycle of regret? This regret that has happened. And what I can change, even if everything is outside of my control, is how I perceive of myself. Because the one person I want in my corner is myself. Because if my back is against the wall, if there are no other options, I don't want to be berating myself. Perhaps I want to start believing in myself and grieving those things that happened. Allow myself to feel through those emotions of a life that could have been, but I don't have to live my life in regret. Perhaps I can live my life in other options that are awaiting for me if I let go of things that could have been and embrace what I could be by embracing myself. By rather than beating myself up, starting to let go of some of those feelings. So I can see myself with better eyes and perhaps make better decisions for myself rather than lamenting and regretting those things that I could have done. There's plenty of things that I can do. My options might be limited now, but it doesn't mean that I am or what I'm capable of. One door has closed. And perhaps when I'm ready, perhaps when I'm ready to stop looking at that door of all the possibilities that could have been, perhaps I can look to the open door of a life that is presented to me now, which may not be the life that I want to live, but it is the life that I'm living. And do I want to spend it living in regret? All these things that have happened, I'm grieving these things. I'm allowing myself to go through that grief process. And it is a grief process. And I'll feel many feelings. And I'll feel many emotions. But does hurting myself allow myself to grow? And allow myself to be compassionate to myself, to know that I do make mistakes, and sometimes mistakes outside of my control happen to me. And I can be bitter, I can be full of blame, I can be full of shame. But this is not good cultivating ground in which to build a new life. A life where I did do regrettable things, but a life that I can change from and grow in new ways. I might not have all the options for me, but I might limit my options by limiting my perception of myself and what I'm capable of. This living in regret, this living in remorse, this living in guilt, this living in wanting of a better reality, this living in changing of a reality, whatever reality that I'm in. Perhaps I want a better reality than one living in regret. I'm open to giving myself the love and compassion and the grace that I deserve to be easy on myself, to be gentle on myself, to allow myself to experience all ranges of emotions when it doesn't feel like it's fair. But I will be fair to myself by treating myself in a just way, by making sure that I'm taking care of myself rather than taking care of the regret, rather than taking care of the beating up of myself, rather than taking care of the shame, blame, and guilt. They'll always be there to remind me. Perhaps I can form new memories that I won't regret. We all make mistakes, but we can learn from them. And in that learning process, there is a growing process. A growing process where I can become a better self. The new me. A new me of possibilities. A new me that knows definitely not what not to do. And if I'm in a situation that I have no control over, I can definitely control this moment by controlling my next action. That's going to better my health and well-being, be it big or small. I don't have to do grand things. Perhaps getting out of bed, being able to feed myself, whatever that may be, will be a huge achievement in my own eyes. Perhaps in my own eyes, I want to see a new life, a new spark of myself, a new possibility for myself. Perhaps I want to love myself within my own eyes. Perhaps I want to forgive myself. And that might not be easy, but neither is beating myself up. I can't learn by beating myself up. It's not the punishment that I deserve. Perhaps I can do better for myself and for others. Or perhaps I can just do better for myself. Whatever I decide, perhaps I can make new decisions that are in my best interests. And I can grieve this regret and allow it to be as I become a new me and accept my new self in mind, body, and spirit. And taking a full breath in and out. So yes, it's not easy regret, and I don't imagine just a general EFT tapping video will help ease with that, but maybe help ease a little stress that comes with the regret. There can be also regret of things that we regret we didn't do sooner. That's another regret. And if that is the case, then sooner better than later to start our new life. So I'm Dion from Eflowtion Support Services. I offer EFT tapping one-on-one online, as well as disability and mental health support services if you're in the Australian Brisbane area. So check out Eflowtion Support Services, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.